hello and welcome back to Power Drift, and this is going to be an amazing video because it involves motorcycles, and motorcycles are special, and we are going to talk about the upcoming motorcycles of 2022. But before we begin this coverage, let me just have a beverage. ये subtle था, ये subtle था.
Empty room, fill it up, talk is cheap, listen up, I don't know where we went wrong, but
Anyway, let's talk about motorcycles, yaar. Before I kick things off, if you like coffee, especially Rage Coffee, we've got something for you. So remember to stay and watch this video till the very end. On this episode, I'm gonna tell you about some upcoming motorcycles in this year. I know we're a little late, but we've still got so many amazing motorcycles left to see in the year 2022. And I think the biggest one, the one that we should kick things off with, is going to be from Chakan, and that's going to come in the form of the KTM RC390. Yes, they're facing some semiconductor issues, but hopefully we will see a brand new KTM RC390. Now, we've already seen the KTM RC200, and we sort of know the kind of form, the kind of presence that we're going to look or stare at when the RC390 rolls in. So I think barring the looks, the major difference is going to come in the form of the engine. Similar looks, but massive output in terms of performance. And obviously the biggest story, the two big stories that were rolling out when the new RC series was spotted, one of them was going to be the story of unsprung mass. So obviously the handling of the motorcycle, especially what we experienced with the RC200, it's just a whole another level. But the bigger story is obviously going to be the fact that KTM is now looking at making the RC series a lot more versatile. In the earlier generation, it was a lot more committed, a lot more focused towards track usage. But this time around, this is the big news, versatility. So riding it in the city, maybe going out touring, and obviously going to a racetrack, all of the three combined, and that is going to make the RC390 a special motorcycle. Alright, then we'll move on to a bunch of Royal Enfield motorcycles. Now the year's already kicked off. Kick-off ho chuka hai with the Scram 411, and we had a lot of fun reading the comments, especially on YouTube. But time to move on and time to look at the bigger class, which is the 650cc class. Now, Royal Enfield introduced the 650cc class by bringing in two motorcycles, the Interceptor and the GT650. And it's been about 4 odd years since the two 650s were rolled out. So now Royal Enfield is working on a bunch of other motorcycles using the same engine. We saw a small glimpse in the form of a prototype, which is the SG650 at EICMA 2021, and that's also going to take shape in the form of a Shotgun 650. But the other motorcycle is going to be a Super Meteor, which is obviously going to take cues from how the Meteor 350 is, but like I said, will sport a bigger 650cc engine. The last two spottings that have happened in the recent past, one of them is the Hunter 350, and the second one is the Bullet 350. Now, the Bullet name, it's been very, very close to the Royal Enfield group of riders, and it's coming back. Now, the great thing about the new 350cc engine is the fact that whatever issues the older motorcycles had, a lot of those issues have been sorted with the J series platform. So getting that engine to work with different forms of motorcycle riding, that's the aim that Royal Enfield is attacking. Moving on from Royal Enfield, we have got Yamaha. Now, Yamaha has been awfully quiet since they launched the Aerox 155, a scooter that I now own. Yay, congratulations to me. But what they really want to focus now is some of the motorcycles that are working well for them. So they obviously got the R15 V4 out last year, but the focus has now moved to the MT15, and one of the changes that we'll see in the MT15 is a USD fork. Now, Yamaha, with what I hear, has got a massive conference, and in that conference, they might announce the arrival of the MT15. And when the MT15 makes its way to India, expect a small bump in price because USD fork, inflation, etc., etc. And finally, closing this list off, we've got a bunch of Ducatis. Now, Ducati did the bravest thing and the smartest thing and the most awesomest thing ever. In January, they put out a mail and said, this is the lineup that we have for the rest of the year. So about 11 motorcycles is what we expect from Ducati. About 3 or 4 motorcycles have already been launched, including the Troy Bayliss Panigale V2, which is a special edition. But one of the motorcycles that I'm really looking forward to is going to be the Ducati Multistrada V4 Pikes Peak. So the biggest change that you will see from the V4S to the Pikes Peak is going to be the downsizing of the front wheel. So 19-inch front that you see on the V4S, it's going to go down to a 17-inch front, lots of carbon fiber, better suspension. In fact, suspension that you see on maybe a WSBK motorcycle, that level of suspension, better brakes, so on and so forth. But the price tag is something that you need to keep an eye out for, because roughly with what I'm being told, you can expect the Pikes Peak for about 35 lakh rupees on the road. That's pretty hefty. But that is also where I sum up all the motorcycles that you and I will look forward to in the year 2022. Which of these are you looking forward to the most? Drop in your comments and let me know. And before I leave, like I said, if you are craving for a really hot steaming cup of Rage coffee, then use the discount code RAGEPD20 and get yourself a 20% discount, yaar. And yeah, you've got a bunch of flavors to try out as well. So go on, get going, get yourself a cup of coffee.
Which one's your favorite flavor?
I like it dark.
I said flavor.
Cut.